Hello, middle school. This is Mrs. Doro, and I am back with the next part of your Native American cactus pots. So what you're going to need to do, when you have everything drawn in with Sharpie, make sure you come in here and you erase out any pencil marks before you do the next step. So make sure you're done that. That's part of your craftsmanship I'm going to be looking for. Okay. Now, next thing that you're going to need the oil pastels that I've given you. You're also going to need that little cup. This is baby oil. And you're going to need the Q-tips that I gave you, okay? So what you're going to be focusing on, your next step, is adding oil pastel to the cactuses. Only the cactuses, not the background. The background is going to be a watercolor wash. That will be the last thing that you're going to be doing. So things that I'm going to be looking for, of course, I'm going to be looking for neatness. I would like all white to disappear on the cactuses. I'm going to be looking for nice opaque color. Opaque means that I cannot see your white paper through it. I'm also going to be looking for effort. I'm going to be looking for different types of colors used throughout. Not just one solid green color. You notice, guys, right here how I'm using two different shades of green. I'm going to go around my Sharpie marks as best as I can. Take your time with this step, okay? Please take your time. All right, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to fill in my cactuses. Notice how I have like it fading in from a light green into a dark green. You all should have two different shades of green. I could even, I guess if I wanted to, take a little bit of brown, just a little bit. If I wanted to maybe make it look a little bit more realistic. Kind of vary up the shades, the colors a little bit. I could add yellow. Yellow would look really good if I layered in yellow. Okay, so there's lots of different things that you can be doing to these cactuses instead of just coloring it in one solid green color. I'm going to be looking for that in your work. And if I see solid green, I'm just not going to score that high with like visual interest. Okay, because if I look at a plant realistically, they're not just one solid shade of green. There are different things that make them vary in color. Okay, so I'll fill in this last little section here. Trying to go around the black. This is not a race. Take your time with this section. I don't want to see scribble marks. To quote my good friend Mrs. Martins, I would like to see Jell-O, not spaghetti. Spaghetti means that you're scribbling. I'll show you. Mrs. Martin says this is spaghetti. Okay? What I like to see is Jell-O. All right? Solid. Okay. And I kind of like that brown in there a little bit, so I'm going to add in a little bit more here too. Maybe just up on the edges. Make it look a little bit more realistic. Okay, so when you have one section done, the next thing that you're going to do is grab your baby oil and a Q-tip. And I'm going to dip my Q-tip into the baby oil and just really lightly, guys, really lightly. I don't want to take the oil pastel off. I just want to blend it. Oil pastels are oil-based. And when you add baby oil to them, they behave like oil paint. and you can really get some nice blending. Notice, guys, I am not rubbing this so hard that I take the oil pastel off. A lot of students get frustrated because they can't get it to blend well. They just get it to turn to a really light color. Well, that's because you're applying too much pressure. You're not scrubbing it. You're just really lightly touching the surface of it and blending it. So at this point, if you do have any little white spots that are showing, this technique is a really good way to get rid of those white spots. Also, if I touch up a little bit on top of the Sharpie, I can kind of bring that back too. All right, so you can see the difference here. Make sure that I'm on the camera. Sorry about that, guys, if I was off. I'm going to show you one more time in case we didn't catch that on the camera. Notice a really, really light pressure. And it just blends it really nicely. I'm not scrubbing. And it makes it behave just like paint. And all the white is gone, okay? That's the kind of craftsmanship that I'm going to be looking for in your work. And it really did not take very long, okay? I'm going to continue doing the oil pastels up here with the plants. I also want you to add in the dirt down here, the sand that's your cactuses are sitting in. So make sure you come in here too. And again, not just straight brown soil. You can use different oil pastels and get some different colors in here. I'm always looking for show work, guys. And people that give me a little bit of extra effort like this, their work usually goes to a show. I will have 3 of them coming up this spring. And I would love to be able to put your work in there as well, okay? So maybe I want to come in here and just add a little bit of red too. Maybe the red's too much. I think the orange would look good. Just a little bit. All right, I'm going to use that oil pastel technique on this. Then I'm going to come down here too, guys. And I'm going to start working on my geometric patterns. Again, I'm looking for good craftsmanship. Things are filled in solid. You've done the oil pastel and baby oil technique. All right, so I would continue with this and then use my baby oil to come back in and really lightly just go over the surface. Look how lightly that is. But it's doing some really cool stuff. Okay, so you're only going to do this to the cactus, the soil, and your pot. Do not do the oil pastel technique on the background. All right, not yet. Okay, talk to you later.